Hello everybody and welcome back to Advanced Maths. Today we're looking at the gradient of a straight line. This is part of our series of videos on straight line graphs. And if you've not watched our other videos on straight line graphs, like plotting a straight line graph, you should watch that before we continue. On screen we have a straight line, and this straight line has different gradients. It has different steepness. And here we can see the different gradients a straight line might have. On the left, we've got a steeper straight line going up. That means it's positive. Then we've got a less steep straight line. Then we've got a flat straight line, then a negative steep straight line, and a negative steeper straight line. The word steeper could be replaced by the word gradient. Whether we call a steepness of a line, it's gradient. And the symbol for gradient is m. So in maths, when we talk about the words gradient, we use the letter m. Now here we have a straight line, and this straight line follows the pattern where if it goes one across, it goes two up. One across, two up. Here the gradient is 2. So we say m equals 2. This straight line is a little steeper. If you go one across, it goes 3 up. The gradient is 3. So what matters is if you go one across, then you ask yourself, how high does it go? Does it go 1, 2, or 3 squares up? And that tells you the gradient. Here we have 3 different straight lines. One is one across, one up, gradient is 1. One across, 2 up, the gradient is 2. And one across, 3 up, the gradient is 3. And the higher the number, the steeper the line is. Now let's look at this one. This is a gradient of 4, 1 across 4 up, 1 across 2 up, gradient of 2. This is a gradient of 1, so 1 square across, 1 up. Now we can look at a straight line that goes 1 across, 0 up. It doesn't go up, and therefore we say the gradient is 0. And this is special because it's a flat line. So a gradient of 0 means that it is flat. Now we can keep going, we can go 1 across, and this takes us 1 down. And when we say 1 down, we mean minus 1. And so the gradient here is negative because the line is going down. And we can either have 1 across, 2 down, which means a gradient of minus 2. Negative gradient. And of course, a gradient of minus 3, like that. Okay, now this is slightly more complicated. Here we have a line that goes between these 2 points here, and it goes 3 across and minus 2 down. And here, this is definitely a negative gradient because it's going down, but it's a bit more complicated because we can't just go 1 across and see how far down it goes. We're going to go between 2 of the grid points, and to go from those 2 grid points, we go 3 across and minus 2 down. And to work out the gradient here, we're going to do the minus 2 divided by the 3. We work out how far it goes up or down, and we divide that by how far it goes across. Here it is minus 2 divided by 3, or minus 2/3. The gradient of this line is minus 2/3, and it is a fraction. Let's see that again. Here we've got another line, and we're going to put a cross at the grid points. We're focusing on the grid. We go across 4 squares and go up 1. This is a positive gradient because it's going up, and we put the 1 on the top and the 4 on the bottom of the fraction. And the gradient of this one is 1 out of 4. Again, it's how far it goes up or down divided by how far it goes across. I call this the rise divided by the run. The gradient is the rise divided by the run, where the rise is how far it goes up or down, and the run is how far it runs across. Rise divided by run. Next, we're going to look at 2 points on a grid. And these 2 points are 1, 2, and 4, 8. And we're asked to find the gradient of the line between them. And the equation we're going to use for this is the gradient is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And that means the second y minus the first y over the second x minus the first x. Don't get confused, this doesn't mean squared, this means the second x or the first or the second y. And we can look at the equations like this, where we can label the coordinates, the first x, the first y, the second x, the second y. And we substitute these numbers into the equation in the right place. So the second y coordinate is 8, we're going to put 8 there. The first y coordinate is 2, we'll substitute 2 in. The second x coordinate is 4, and the first x coordinate is 1. We substitute them in like that, and that gives us 8 minus 2 on top, which is 6. 4 minus 1 on the bottom is 3. We get 6 over 3, which is 2. 6 divided by 3 is 2, and that is the gradient of the line between these 2 points. Now this is very similar to our rise of a run we discussed before, because on the top we've got 8 minus 2, which is 6, and that means the rise is 6. We've gone from a height of 2 to a height of 8. We've risen up 8 spaces. And then on the across, we've gone from a 1 across to 4 across. That means we've gone a run of 3 across. So this is very similar to our rise of a run equation before, but here we are using subtraction to calculate the rise and the run. We're going to see another example of that now. Let's go. So here I've got 2 more coordinates, minus 1, 9, and 4, minus 6. And these have minuses in them, so we're just going to be very careful that we deal with minus signs correctly. We'll use the same equation again, and we'll substitute it in. So the second y coordinate is 6, the first y coordinate is 9, the first x coordinate is 4, the second y coordinate is 4, the first x coordinate is minus 1. When we work this out, minus 6 minus 9 is minus 15, and 4 minus minus 1 is 5. We've got minus 15 divided by 5 is 3, and so the gradient between these 2 points is 3. That's how you calculate the gradient of points on a graph. Now this relates to our plotting of straight line graphs, because here we have a straight line graph that we've plotted, y equals 2x minus 1. And if we focus on this equation here, we've got y equals 2x minus 1, y equals mx plus c is how we would write this in general, and that number in front of the x is what we call the m, or the gradient. And so here the gradient is 2. And we can see that from the graph that the line is indeed going 1 across, 2 up, 1 across, 2 up. So whenever you see the equation of a straight line graph, you can instantly tell what the gradient is by looking for the number in front of the x. That's everything from today's video from Advanced Maths. Please remember to like and subscribe to support the channel. Also, you can share with your classmates, your friends and family who might benefit from GCSE Maths revision. Check out advancedmaths.com for more helpful revision resources, all of which is free. Thanks for watching and good luck in your exams.